Welcome back to today's Thermal Mermaid video. And today's recipe is the ultimate in exfoliating lip scrubs, and this one is perfect for the holiday season. This one is a mint chocolate flavored sugar lip scrub. And today I'm going to show you everything that goes into it so that you can make your own at home. Now if you're new here, welcome, I'm Jennifer, and on this channel we make all sorts of homemade soaps, cosmetics, and bath products. And these recipes are both DIY and commercial quality. So if you start to get good at this, you can take every one of these recipes and start your own business with commercial quality products. Now, if you do want my exact personal recipes, you have to become a member over at thermalmermaid.com, where you can log in and access every single one of the recipes. And you can also interact on our message board if you have any questions about the recipes. And if you get to where you want to sell your products, you can even set up your own website. Over there, it's free for all our members. So if you're interested in learning more, then I invite you to come on over and check us out at thermalmermaid.com. Now, for those of you who are already members, this recipe is ready to print along with the members version of this video. So if you log into your dashboard, you scroll down to the recipe directory, click on Bath Goodies category, and then you can find it listed under Mint Chocolate Sugar Lip Scrub. Now if you're not a member, you're still going to see everything that goes into this product and watch me put it together along with some tips that make it easier to blend this formula. Then you can try your own combinations and you'll be amazed at how many beautiful creative creations that you can come up with on your own. So let's get started. So a lip scrub is a bit different than a normal body scrub that you might use in the shower. Now this one is usually packed with more expensive moisturizing oils like the golden jojoba or the vitamin E. It doubles as an exfoliator and a moisturizer, so when you're done using it, it should feel like you've just put on some chapstick, and you'll also be free of any dead skin that will make your lipstick look dry. Now these little gems are not cheap. Take a look at this lip scrub. Here you get just over 1/2 an ounce for about $24 from Sephora. And Lush also sells a tiny little pot jar for about $10. Now these are typically sold in these little 1/2 ounce containers, and we're going to make the exact same thing, the exact same quality, and I'm going to make this at about 50 times more for a tiny fraction of the price. So if you're thinking of a cosmetic business, or if you have a store that's already going, this particular product is a great upsell item, and the recipe is absolutely beautiful. The recipe that we're making here is just as comparable to any $24 item that you'd buy over at Ulta or Sephora. The 9 ingredients that I'm going to be using in this demonstration are beeswax, sugar, avocado oil, grapeseed oil, clear jojoba oil, cocoa powder, mint chocolate flavor oil, shea butter, and our preservative. Now sugar, beeswax, and a soft oil are the main ingredients. Here I'm using avocado and grapeseed in my combination, and you can use any combination of soft oils until you get the texture that you like. You can use rich olive oil, you can use lightweight sunflower. Some oils are more greasy than others, and some are more drying than others, so I like my combination. Now in this demonstration, I'm going to start by warming my beeswax and avocado oil until it's just warm enough to get those beeswax pastels melted down. Now I'm going to melt in the shea butter, and I'm going to get this fully incorporated. Now before these oils cool, I'm going to go ahead and add the grapeseed oil and the clear jojoba and a dash of cocoa powder. And we're going to mix this down until it's completely melted. Now the warm beeswax and avocado oil is already sitting at a very warm temperature, and when we add in our oils that are already at room temperature, it's going to instantly try to solidify. So even every single time we put in a new oil, it's going to start to thicken up more and more quickly. That's okay. You can just very slowly remelt these down as much as you need to. By the time we add the sugar and fold our sugar into this, we're going to want to make sure that our oils, our entire combination, is a very, very loose liquid. So I'm going to go ahead and just transfer this over into a larger dish so that you can see it better. And as I'm pouring it, you can see that we're going to just very, very gently fold that sugar in there. Now here the oils are warm, but they're not hot. They're not too hot. What I don't want to happen is I don't want the sugar to melt. If it turns into a slurry, a soft melted slurry, then we want to wait. And you can just test this a little tiny bit. Don't panic if your sugar instantly melts after you've just poured a little bit in. Just leave it and then give it just a minute or two to allow those oils to become more cool. Now, once you keep folding it in slightly and your sugar stays in its granulated form, you'll get what kind of looks like a cookie dough paste. Just keep working it all together. And eventually, we're going to go ahead and we're going to add in our mint chocolate flavored oil. And we're going to completely incorporate that in so that the entire combination is perfectly mixed. Now, if you're using this for yourself at home, technically you don't need a preservative. There's no water in this recipe, and it's basically safe to leave the preservative out. So if this was just for me, I wouldn't even bother with the preservative. But if you're making this for someone other than yourself, you may want to have that extra layer of protection. Remember, this is a product that you're going to be putting your fingers in over and over again. So if you do want the preservative, then I recommend using the Nip. Now, this is preferred for lip balms, face products. It is oil soluble, so it will disperse into the oil just fine. It's a very easy preservative to use, and it's pretty well liked in the DIY community. Now, this one is a paraben, so if you're afraid of parabens, then you might want to do some research and find a different preservative that is more suitable to your liking. Personally, if you watch any of my videos, I don't have any problems with parabens. They're ubiquitous in almost all of your pharmacy products. They are safe. I understand that some people might have sensitivities or they might feel like they may personally have allergies, but these products have been around for decades, and most importantly, they're very reliable. They will prevent mold and growth from occurring in your products for several months, even longer after the shelf life that they claim that they will. So this one here, I'll be using the Nip in this particular recipe, but again, just be aware that it is a paraben, and if that's something that you want to stay away from, then you might want to look into another type. Now, when you're ready to package, you need to make sure that your containers are clean and sterile. This will be just the same as you were making any kind of a lotion product, so make sure you're wearing gloves, and prep your pot jars by soaking them in warm soap water, or you can even use a bit of bleach water and then set them to dry. You want to make sure these are dry before you fill them. Now, what I'm using here are these 1/3 ounce pot jars, and once they're full, we're just going to label them accordingly. And then you can realize also that just because when you purchase these pot jars, they might say 1/3 ounce or a 1 ounce, these particular products tend to be a little bit on the heavier side. So you want to make sure that when you label them according to the actual weight, not the size jar that you purchased. I know a lot of people will sometimes ask me how they're going to be labeling that. You don't have to go by 1/2 ounce or 1 ounce or 2 ounce. You can also go by grams if you like, or you can go by milliliters for these particular jars. But in my case, for this particular recipe, I always tend to get about 1/2 ounce that goes into a 1/3 ounce size pot jar, and in my 1 ounce jars, the total weight tends to be about 1.5 ounces. So just be aware of that. That's something that is really, really typical in a lot of these cosmetic products. You want to make sure you're weighing out your product accordingly. So I hope you enjoyed this episode of Thermal Mermaid. If you want to see the next recipe, don't forget to like and subscribe to this video. And you're more than welcome to come on over to thermalmermaid.com and check us out to learn some more.